Welcome, everyone, and thank you for jumping into this all new Coatings Talk Livestream. It's great to have you here. Whether you're tuning in from the job site, an office, or somewhere between projects, I appreciate you carving out the time to be part of this session. Today, we're diving into a topic that can genuinely accelerate your career and expand your influence in the coatings world: branding yourself as a coatings professional. This isn't just about visibility, it's about becoming the person people trust, the person they call, and the person they remember. And we're going to break down exactly how to build that kind of presence with purpose, with confidence, and importantly, with momentum. This live stream is all about giving you practical tools, real world strategies, and a fresh perspective on how to stand out in a crowded industry. As we move through today's content, I really encourage you to think about where you are in your professional journey, what you want to be known for, and how you can start shaping that identity with intention. The coatings industry rewards expertise, but it also rewards clarity, communication, and importantly, leadership. And your personal brand is that bridge that ties all of that together. So let's fire this up and get started. But before we get started, I'd like to give a shout out to Appellix Spray Painting Drones. This broadcast is brought to you by Appellix Drone Solutions, who are the leaders in robotic spray painting technology for industrial coatings. If you're an industrial painting contractor or an asset owner looking to boost productivity, improve safety, and deliver more consistent coating results on vertical structures, it's time to take a serious look at spray painting drones from Appellix. These aren't consumer drones, they're purpose built, engineered industrial drones that solve real field level challenges, and they support your bottom line as a contractor. And importantly, they provide you additional revenues and profits, all with the use of drones. Appellix spray painting drones allow your crew to apply liquid coatings to elevated or hard to reach surfaces without stepping onto scaffolding or lifts. And this means fewer safety risks, fewer delays, and dramatically lower setup cost. And because the drone maintains a precise standoff distance and travel speed, you get uniform film builds, reduce overspray, and repeatable quality across every pass. Imagine completing a tank exterior, a stack, or a tall structure in a fraction of the time with a smaller focus crew that's safely on the ground, that's managing the operation. Now, that's the power of Appellix. It's not about replacing painters, it's about augmenting your production, giving your team a smarter, safer, and more efficient way to work. And if you want to improve margins, you want to show that you're an innovator, and you want to deliver higher quality results with smaller labor demands, Appellix spray painting drones are the competitive edge that you've been waiting for. So just email me at jim@procoattech.com to learn more about Appellix, and also how to discover how drone applied coatings can transform your next project. Why personal branding matters in coatings. Personal branding has become one of the most powerful differentiators in the coatings and corrosion industries. In a field that's built on trust, technical credibility, and consistent performance, your reputation is more than a resume line. It's a living asset that follows you into every project, every inspection, every bid, and every conversation that you have. When people know who you are, what you stand for, and the quality of work you deliver, opportunities start coming to you instead of you chasing them. Asset owners remember the professionals who communicate clearly, show up with confidence, and bring real value to the table. And contractors remember the inspectors who are fair, who are consistent, and knowledgeable. And your peers, they remember the voices who contribute, who share and elevate the industry. And that's the power of a personal brand. In coatings, your brand is built through your actions, through your communications, and through your presence, both in the field and in the broader professional community. It's shaped by the way you solve problems, the way you explain technical concepts, the way you interact with teams, and the way you show up online and importantly in person. A strong personal brand positions you as a go to resource, a trusted advisor, and someone whose expertise carries weight. It opens doors to leadership roles, speaking opportunities, committee involvement, and career advancement. And most importantly, it helps you stand out in an industry where skill alone isn't enough. Visibility, clarity, and consistency are what true professionals, what sets them apart. Defining your personal identity, professional identity. So when you're looking at defining your professional identity, it's really a foundation of building. And that building is your strong personal brand, especially in the coatings industry. And it always starts with understanding exactly what you bring to the table. It's not just your job title, but it's your strengths, your technical focus, and the unique perspective you've developed through field experience, through your training, and problem solving. In a field as broad as protective coatings, problem solving is very important, but also clarity is very powerful. Are you the go to person for tank linings? The inspector who can diagnose a failure in minutes? The applicator who consistently delivers flawless surface prep? The technical advisor who can translate complex specifications into practical field guidance? When you define your identity with intention, you give people a clear reason to remember you and a clear reason to trust you. Your professional identity also reflects the values and behaviors that shape how you show up in the industry. Are you known for being fair? Are you known for being consistent and technically sharp? Do people see you as a communicator, as an educator, as a problem solver, and also as a leader? These traits become part of your brand just as much as your technical expertise. And the more consistently you demonstrate them in the field, in meetings, in reports, and even online, the stronger your identity becomes. This is how you move from being someone who works in coatings to being someone to rely on in coatings. It's not about creating a persona, it's about amplifying the best, most authentic version of the professional you already are. When it comes to building your presence in the industry, it starts with showing up consistently, visibly, and with purpose. This doesn't mean being everywhere at once. It means being intentional about where you invest your time and how you present your expertise. Conferences, technical committees, chapter meetings, and industry events are powerful platforms where reputations are built. When you participate, when you contribute, and when you engage, people begin to associate your name with value. Even something as simple as asking a thoughtful question during a panel or sharing a field insight during a roundtable can position you as someone who's paying attention, someone who cares about their craft, and someone who brings substance into a conversation. Your presence also shaped by how you leverage your expertise. Every project, every inspection, every failure analysis, and every turnaround gives you stories, lessons, and insights that others can learn from. When you share those experiences, whether in conversations, in presentations, or in formal discussion, you demonstrate leadership without needing a title. You become the person others look to for clarity, for perspective, and practical wisdom. Over time, this builds a reputation that travels ahead of you. People begin to recognize your name, your voice, and your approach. And the industry, built on trust and technical credibility, that recognition becomes one of your most valuable assets. So now let's talk about digital branding for coatings professionals. Digital branding has become one of the most powerful tools that a coatings professional can use to build credibility and to expand influence. In today's industry, people aren't just looking for your certifications on your resume. They're looking at your digital footprint. When someone searches your name, what do they find? a blank space, or a professional who shares insights, who communicates clarity, and also contributes to the industry conversation. Platforms like LinkedIn, they give you the ability to showcase your expertise, to highlight your field experience, and position yourself as a trusted voice long before you ever meet someone in person. A strong digital presence signals professionalism, confidence, and leadership. And it helps to understand for people to understand exactly what you bring to the table. Digital branding is also about consistency and being authentic. You don't need to post every day or try to be an influencer. What matters is showing up with value, sharing lessons from the field, breaking down technical concepts, offering practical tips, or even highlighting challenges that you've overcome. And these small, consistent actions, they build recognition over time. And people begin to associate with your name with reliability, with clarity, and expertise. And in an industry where trust is everything, that recognition becomes a powerful advantage. So whether you're an inspector, an applicator, an engineer, or a technical advisor, your digital presence can open doors to new opportunities and new connections, and also new levels of professional visibility. Now, communication is so important. So you want to make sure that you're communicating like a technical leader. When it comes to communicating like a technical leader, this really means going beyond simple knowing the material. It's about delivering information with clarity, with confidence, and also with purpose. In the coatings and corrosion industries, the best communicators are the ones who take complex standards, failure mechanisms, and technical decisions, and then they translate them into everyday language. And this language is something that teams can really act on. Technical leadership communication is precise, but it's never rigid. It does have authority, but it's never condescending. And it's rooted in deep expertise, but expressed in a way that empowers others to understand, to execute, and to be successful. When you communicate this way, people don't just hear you, they trust you. And trust is a currency of leadership in our industry. A technical leader also understands that communication is not just about speaking, it's about listening, observing, and adapting. Every audience is different. Inspectors, applicators, engineers, asset owners, and executives all need information delivered in a way that fits their world. Leaders adjust their tone, their level of detail, and their messaging style to meet people where they are. They know when to be direct, they know when to be supportive, and when to step back and let others contribute. This adaptability builds credibility and strengthens relationships across the entire project ecosystem. When people feel understood, they perform better, and they look to you as someone who elevates the team rather than just instruct it. So, purpose is really important, especially networking with purpose. And this is one of the most powerful ways to accelerate your growth in the coatings and corrosion industries. This isn't just about collecting business cards or adding random connections online. It's about building meaningful, mutually beneficial relationships with people who share your commitment to quality, to safety, and technical excellence. Purposeful networking starts with intention, knowing who you want to learn from, who you want to collaborate with, and who you can support. When you approach networking as a strategic part of your professional identity, you begin to create a circle of peers, mentors, and partners who elevate your work, and they open doors that you may not have even known existed. In our industry, the strongest relationships are built through shared experiences, solving problems together in the field, collaborating on inspections, participating in technical committees, or simply exchanging insights during industry events. When you show up consistently, communicate clearly, and demonstrate genuine curiosity about others, expertise, well, people remember you and they see you as someone who contributes, someone who listens, and someone who adds value. Over time, these relationships become a powerful network of trust, and they lead to new opportunities, new perspectives, and also new levels of influence. Purposeful networking isn't about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about being the most authentic, reliable, and engaged version of yourself. So I'm really pleased and proud to talk about Five and Rising, especially their line of Pro Coat Tech wearables. We're still kind of in some parts of the country in hoodie territory. We're not quite full summer yet. But before I close out this broadcast, I do want to take this moment to highlight something special for our Coatings Talk community. So our friends over at Five and Rising have officially launched a new collection featuring 2 exclusive Pro Coat Tech wearables, the Fit for Purpose hoodie and the Fit for Purpose t-shirt. Now, these pieces were designed with the same mindset that we all bring to our industry. They're purpose-driven, they're durable, and they're built for people who take pride in their craft. Whether you're working in the field, if you work in a shop, or you're representing the coatings and corrosion world at a social gathering, these wearables let you carry that message with you. Now, the discount for first-time buyers is 10%, and this discount is available for those who sign up for the Five and Rising email list. It's quick, it's simple, and it unlocks your savings. So if you want to grab a hoodie, a t-shirt, or both, now's the perfect time to jump in and support a brand that supports this community. So now let's talk about turning your brand into opportunity. When you build a clear, consistent, and credible personal brand in the coatings industry, opportunities begin to find you. A strong brand acts like a signal. It tells people that you're what you're great at, what you care about, and why they should trust you. Asset owners start reaching out for insight. They reach out to you for insight. Contractors, well, they want you on their projects. Manufacturers look for your feedback. They look for collaboration or training support. And industry organizations begin to see you as someone worth inviting to speak, to contribute, or lead an association. This is a moment when your brand shifts from something you build to something that actively works for you. It becomes a multiplier for your career, for your influence, and your long-term impact. Turning your brand into opportunity also means being ready to step into the spaces your reputation opens. Now, that might look like taking on a leadership role in a technical committee, presenting at a conference, mentoring newer professionals, or even launching your own educational content, consulting services, or specialized training. The coatings industry rewards people who show initiative, who communicate well, and bring value to the coatings community. And your brand is that bridge that connects your expertise to those higher level opportunities. When people know who you are and what you stand for, they don't just see your skills, they see your potential. And that's when your brand becomes more than a reputation. It really becomes a career engine. So with that, I'd like to say thank you. As we bring this Coatings Talk live stream to a close, I want to thank each and every one of you for spending part of your day here. Your engagement, your curiosity, and your commitment to elevating this industry, that's what makes this live stream more powerful. Personal branding isn't just a concept. It's a career accelerator. It's a confidence builder, and it's a way to stand out in the field that truly demands both technical excellence and professional presence. The fact that you showed up today, well, that tells me that you're serious about growing, about leading, and shaping your own path in the coatings, and I'll also say in the corrosion world. I appreciate the energy you brought to this session and your dedication to your craft. The coatings industry moves forward because of professionals like you, people who care about doing things the right way, who invest their own time into your development, who contribute to a stronger, smarter, more connected community. So keep building your brand, keep sharing your expertise, and keep showing up with purpose. You never know who's watching, who's learning from you, or what opportunities your presence will create. Thank you again for joining this Coatings Talk live stream. Stay sharp, stay engaged, and I'll see you on the next one.